What do you need to know about an intake for VEX override to make it work well? These game pieces are like horrible to pick up. So how do you make an intake that actually works? Intakes this year are really hard, and this one is by no means perfect. However, it's better than anything else I've seen out there. So how does it work? It's got this flex wheel roller right here, and it's all floating like this. And then we got this rubber band roller here with a bunch of the thicker rubber bands on it. These are number 64 AMUU rubber bands. We also rubber band it up right here. We got this rubber band going up here that'll rubber band it up, meaning it's really light on the game pieces. So it like bounces around a lot. And I'll explain why in a second. We also got these like squishy funnels here, which are really, really important as well. And then we got our counter roller down here. So when this intake spins forward, the counter roller spins inward. So it's like conveying the whole game piece into the intake. And then we got this plastic piece at the bottom. It's a little springy on purpose. That helps as well. Basically, when you got a really rigid game piece, you want your intake to be as squishy as possible. That's just rules of intake. That's how you want it. These are plastic, hard plastic. They're rigid. They're weird shapes. You need squishy intake. For more than just the fact that they're rigid, they're a weird shape, which means you need your intake to be as squishy as possible in every configuration. So yes, it can get jammed, but pretty much almost every time it gets jammed, it'll like squish out of the way somehow. Like either these will squish in, or this will go up, or something like that, and that will kind of help unjam it a lot. And that's kind of why this intake has so much squishiness or compliance, if you want to be fancy. The chaining and gearing of this is a little whack, but like it's a little complex at first. It is kind of the correct way to do it though for something like this. You have your motor here on this floating intake, and then you have this going over to a chain here, and then this goes to the flex wheels. But then you got to reverse the direction for the counter roller, so that's why there's gears here. This is on a screw joint right here. You got our screw joint, and then this chain goes down to our counter roller. And it's a little tricky to see in there, but it goes down to a little sprocket on our counter roller. And the reason this works is because we have a little chain tensioner in there as well. So that's gonna make sure the chain stays tensioned even as the intake flows up and down and our counter roller still spins. And then we also got this chaining up to our roller mech. So we got a whole bunch of stuff running off this 200 RPM green intake motor. But yeah, no, it works really well. Now, if you're looking at this intake and you're like, that looks really cool and I want to build that, but I'm not really sure how it works, you send me some more pictures, go ahead and click that link in the description below. I'll send you some pictures and details on it that will help you when you want to build one. So if we go ahead and turn it on, it works pretty well like that. The only orientation I found it's hardest is like when it's perfectly in the middle like that. So if I do this, I mean, it works, but not always. So maybe a bigger roller here or something would help with that. But yeah, it can get jammed, but you just like outtake, intake, and then that usually helps. Now, the cups are actually quite a bit harder to intake because the pins kind of get smaller on the ends. The cups get bigger on the ends, and that kind of leads to a lot of problems. So the cups work really well when you like just intake them like this, so that way they kind of funnel in like this, or you can just intake them straight on. That works really well too. The way it doesn't like to be intaked is like this. So I'll show you what it looks like when it works. Just like that. And so the way you're supposed to do this is you put just like that. And then I've got these little pieces at the back here that are kind of stopping it from going anywhere else. And then when I'm actually intaking, I've got this claw up here that is kind of just like stopping it from going up too much. If it does jump over these somehow, it's gonna hit this, so it won't really be going anywhere. But yeah, that's kind of how the intake works. Now, kind of what it looks like when it gets jammed is kind of like that. So you need some way to like shove it over a little bit more, and then that usually fixes that. Yeah, and then also this bendy piece on the bottom, just more compliance, especially when the cups come in a little bit weird, because they really need a little bit of compliance there. But yeah, that's kind of all there is to the intake. Kind of just make it as squishy as possible. It takes quite a bit of tuning, a little bit of elbow grease just to get everything correct. Reminds me a lot of the FRC 2025 intakes for the corals. But yeah, roller intakes definitely the way to go. Match loading doesn't work too well because under defense and stuff like that, you're gonna have robots on you, especially the robots that can't intake. Their only job is gonna be defense. So match loading, picking up the upright ones, not gonna be super good strategy once you actually see matches played. This is very much a roller game, so intaking, yes, is important. Make sure you have a roller too, though. Just the way the points work is just super, super valuable to have that. But yeah, that's kind of how you make an intake. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.